Y'all know what it is. Back with another video. Nizza the artist gonna retard it. Coming back with another takedown. We have to kill this misinformation that's going on in these streets, my brothers and sisters. As you know, I am the undisputed heavyweight champion of gender bias. You know what I'm saying? We don't play that stuff over here. We don't do that white supremacy stuff over here. Okay? Let's get to the video at hand. You know what I'm saying? Let's break this video down because the misinformation is just so unreal in these streets. You know, so let's go ahead and let's just see what this young sister is talking about. And we're really going to break this down and we're really going to dissect this video for my people can start getting some real understanding and really start understanding what's going on. That these people that's coming out here with this misinformation is really messing up stuff, and you make it harder for the black community and for us to understand what's really going on. So let's get to the video and see what she's talking about. Okay, let's go.
Y'all wanted to know what I meant by resources and community? For those of y'all who in my comment section glitching, here it is.
Now, this sister said resources. Sister, I don't think you really know about resources and what resources really mean. Because if you did, you wouldn't be making this video. Let's go on.
Restaurant.
Okay, so what is she doing? She's showing you all the restaurants that Asian people built. Not understanding the great relationship that they have with the United States of America when it comes to foreign goods, foreign relationships, and foreign businesses. You know what I'm saying? United States of America have a very tight knit relationship with these peoples in the countries of these people and these foreigners that's coming over here. Affording them the opportunity to open up businesses, basically opening the door for them. Okay. The sister also lacked the understanding of not understanding also that business discrimination against black people is at a rate that nobody can grow. If the same things were being applied to black people, according to businesses and banks and loans, Asians wouldn't have a community. So she really needs to break this stuff down and understand that these banks are so bad when it comes to business loans for black people, they would rather get sued. Now think about this. This is a game that they're playing with us. They would rather get sued by one family or even a collective, because you have class action lawsuits, against some of these banks like Bank of America, Wells Fargo's, that always get caught slipping for discriminating against American black people, or FBAs, right? That's the way it goes. So what it is so bad, people, that they would rather give a class action lawsuit or one person millions of dollars than to give thousands and thousands and thousands of black people the opportunity, to open up their own business. Because if they was to do that, then there's no way in the world they can keep black people in poverty. So we're going to go through this video a little bit more to get her to understand that when you have banks that are willing to say, hey, we'll drag a case through court, one class action lawsuit through court, but we're still not going to give loans collectively or fairly to thousands and thousands of could be black business owners and entrepreneurs, right? So this is the game that they're playing with us. Okay. They say, you know what? Yeah, you can sue us. We'll pay out a bunch of money to one person. But all those thousands of people that's going to come through our door and ask for business loans, we still going to deny them, because you got to understand this is a collective. You know what I'm saying? All the banks have got together and collectively have decided to make sure that black people can never grow as a community, and as a community that are full of businesses. Facts. Let's go.
manager in here, the people who are actually working, the people in the community are Asian. Turn around, right over here is another Asian restaurant, another Asian restaurant. Community for their people, resources for their people.
Not only that, sister, not only is they doing this in America, they doing this in Africa too. They're doing this in any country that is willing to open the door for them to get in, for they can do what they need to do. You can do a lot of things when you don't have a collective of banks, in world banks at that fact, you know what I'm saying, that are trying to make sure that the $1.6 trillion of spending power doesn't end up in black businesses. Do you know what would happen if that $1.6 trillion was to leave Target, Walmart, and Amazon? They would tank. Let's get to the video.
Restaurant. Right next to the Asian restaurant is an Asian grocery store where they've built community resources for their people. Oriental market with foods for their people. Let's go inside. Guess what their people can do? Come in here and get Asian food.
And let's also make this understood that, hey, I'm not mad at the Asians. And I hope that you wouldn't be mad at the Asians for doing what they supposed to do. If I am given the opportunity, the doors are wide open for me, you know what I'm saying, and I'm not being discriminated against, then I'm going to, do what I got to do for my people. So I'm not mad at the Asians. Let's just get that one thing clear. You know what I'm saying? The Asians, continue to do your thing. If America continue to open the door for you, do what you got to do. Get your money. Let's go.
Community. These are the things we used to have in our community.
And that's true. It was called Black Wall Street. Now, let me tell you this, sister. There's some things that we have to break down a little bit further, you know, and what people don't understand, what happened in Greenwood and what happened in Black Wall Street was a direct message to black people that if you build something, we basically gonna tear this down. And this has given black people an anxiety to a point where they're afraid to go build something like that because they know they're going to find some way to tear it down. And I think that this has caused a phobia, you know what I'm saying, when it comes to black people because they remember the impact of what happened in Greenwood and what happened in Black Wall Street. And we as a collective people know that these people don't want us to come together because they fear us. They know that we come together as a collective and we can get these black people and black men and women to stop warring with each other and get on the same page and get on the same code as black people should, you know what I'm saying, then they know that we will most definitely be a force to be reckoned with. Because remember, we are $1.6 trillion worth of spending power, and they don't want that money to go away. So they're going to make sure that we can't go get our own businesses for that money could go away because a lot of these major companies that we go to as black people every day most definitely would tank without us. Let's go.
We used to have
Yes, we did.
we
Yes, we did.
comments. I just need to know. Answer the question. I'm gonna get me some longanisa while I'm in here.
Yes, and I can't answer that question. And the reason why is this because of foul business practices of many of these world banks and banks in the United States of America have collectively come together to make sure that they don't keep happen to um, explain to us why we are not the ones that they want to give business loans to. So therefore, they whether just take it on the chin, yeah, go ahead and sue us. When you are dealing with a collective of banks that are doing what they got to do to hold you back, you know what I'm saying? That's going to slow down any progress in any community. I don't care what it is. You do need the banks to give out loans. And when you have the banks discriminating against us at such a large level, then this is what's going to happen. That's just the way it goes. You know what I mean? Until we collectively come together and create our own bank system, that is the only way we can get around it. You know, the Jewish people did the same thing when the United States of America was basically not giving them what they felt they needed. They created their own bank system. And this is the reason why I am banking with a black bank. Okay, so you can't just talk it out. You have to walk it out. Let's go.
If you know, you know. Whole entire grocery store with goods and resources that was sourced from their people.
Now, let's speak on that. See, another thing that they're also doing is they're keeping the African and the Black American separated from each other. So these people still have a connection to their homeland. We don't have that same connection to our homeland. So the average black person don't know how to go about getting imports from Africa because we have no relationships with Africa. This is the reason why for many years, you know what I'm saying, they have kept us separated. Not only that, Africans can get loans quicker than black Americans can get loans. You know why? Because they collectively are separating us and keeping us away from each other. African, you can walk in and get a loan, but a black American cannot walk in and get the same loan because, see, these people understand they stay on code, and the code is to keep the African away from the African American and keep us separated from the homeland, for we won't be able to do what these people doing by having stuff being imported from their native country. Let's go.
Working together as a cooperative. Fruits, vegetables. Y'all see all that? This is what they've done to build community for their people. Community.
And also, not only this, I want people to know too, and black people, I want you to know too, that when you walk in some of these stores are black owned. You just don't know it. I'm not talking about this particular store, but there's other stores that you walk in that you don't know they're black owned, because there's a such thing as whitewashing businesses practices by black people that own businesses. And you know what that means? That means that black people that actually own businesses, they will hire a bunch of white people to work in them because they don't want people to know that the business is owned by black people. Let's keep it honest. If people walk into a store and there's nothing but black people working in there, they're not going to spend no money. So we're in a catch-22, sister. We can't have what they have because they're not going to spend their money with us. I don't care who you are. You're still going to need somebody from outside of your community to come into your stores and buy things. So not all these stores that you see are owned by white people. They're secretly owned by black people that know that they can't hire a bunch of black people and do what everybody else do, because people are going to stop coming in. They're going to discriminate against us. And unfortunately, that's just the way it is in this country. Let's go. Yeah, but that was the video right there, family. You know what I'm saying? I had to break down a lot of stuff because we just don't really know what's going on, and we don't really pay attention to what's going on. First of all, we got to stop fighting with each other. We got to stop this gender war, because this gender war ain't doing nothing. It's a lot of elements. We can point fingers all day long, but the biggest elephant in the room is we're not progressing. And we're not going to progress by sitting up here acting like 12 and 13-year-olds fighting over who's messing up and who's doing this. We have to understand, you know what I'm saying, that we are up against the beast. We are up against the system. Unfortunately, we are the number one enemy when it comes to the United States of America, and they fear us the most. And I would fear people too if I knew they had $1.6 trillion worth of capital. You got to understand that if we was to take that money out of the United States of America and basically put that into our black communities would thrive. Yes, they would. You know what I'm saying? So they do what they got to do to turn around and keep us all separated from each other and keep us from wanting to get our own businesses and stuff like that, and discourage us, you know, by telling us that we cannot do it, and also by trying to stop us from doing it, you know what I'm saying, if possible. Now, I still think that we can get around it. Now, the only way we can get around it, see, there was a problem. Now, here I believe is the solution. We have to bank black. That is the key word, people. You have to take your money out of those banks that are non-black. You just have to do it. I know it hurts you to your soul that you think that that is not the right thing to do, but you got to understand they gave you a different playbook. They're playing according to a different playbook, and I know they done sold you on this multicolorism lie, because as you see, the white people are taking care of the white people. The Asians are taking care of the Asians. The Latinos are taking care of the Latinos. See, black people got the book mixed up. They think that meant, oh, take all of your money and spend it with non-black people. Oh, I'm not going to go in that store just because they're black. You know what I'm saying? See, we're trying to play along to the real rules of the rule book, but they're not playing along to the real rules of the rule book, because you know that no matter where you go, Mexicans going to look after Mexicans. They're going to hire each other. You know what I'm saying? And they're going to rent their houses to each other. That goes for Asians, whites, and any other ethnic group. We all know for a fact that they're not practicing the same book that we're practicing. What black people need to do, we need to get on code and realize that that's not the book. We're reading a different book. They gave us a different book. They gave them the do for your people book, and they gave us the do for everybody else but our people book. Okay? So wake up and realize that this is the way it is, and there's nothing wrong with it. Even the wild does it. The lions stick with the lions. The gorillas stick with the gorillas. You know what I'm saying? That's just the way it is. That is nature. There's nothing wrong with naturally gravitating towards your people, spending money with your people, and interacting with your people as a collective. It is nothing wrong with it. Matter of fact, it is nature. Okay? You don't see a bunch of rabbits hanging out with deers. You don't see deers hanging out with tigers. And you don't see tigers hanging out with elephants. Okay? They're all collectively disconnected or separated in one way whatsoever. Excuse me. You even have different insects. Okay. You say, okay, that is the insects, but you have different insects of the same creed, just like cats. You know what I'm saying? You have different cats. You have the tiger, you have the lions, you have the leopards, you know what I'm saying? And they move as a collective. So this is nature, people. So black people understand you are supposed to be doing the same thing. You're supposed to be spending black, thinking black, marrying black, being with black. You know what I'm saying? And doing everything for black people with your people. Why? Because that's just natural nature. Take a look around you. Thank you for listening. Like, subscribe. And as always, Black Power.